Signed DC. Cut January 26th at Sunset Sound, with the spare bass part played ably by Kenny Forsey and the acoustic played by Johnny Eccles, who learned the chords off of Arthur playing them for him on the keyboard. Written in the form of a suicide note, The Blues, Signed DC, is certainly the grimmest song ever cut by the group, and was certainly years ahead of its time when it came to the subject matter. One is reminded of those diaries of people who die out alone there in the wild and have that staring them in the face, how they've even reached that point. There's no food, the heat's run out, the temperature without is approaching 30 degrees below zero, and that's not even factoring in the goddamn wind. Well, they have to eat the dogs. This tune is as full as despair as all that. There is literally no hope by the plaintive end. That call and repeat that no one cares. Signed DC remains, to this day, a truly extraordinary love song. Arthur writing about basically life as it was, as seen in his environment. It was a major step forward in his songwriting. DC was written straight after Arthur had gone to see Don Conca in a room that was being rented for him, along with drums, and finding that Conca had sublet it to someone else for drugs. Arthur wrote it that very night, clearly a message to Conca then, you better shape up. Conca was kicked out, albeit not outright, after he missed the first love session, not to mention the first few after that, so Snoopy was in for good. Of course, Snoopy didn't really look like he fit in, and he wasn't the best drummer, but he came when called to a gig, often repeatedly, and to Snoopy's credit, he recognized that the band was going to make it. The bonus track of Take 3 of Signed DC on the 2001 Love mono stereo reissue from Elektra Classics is surprising. There's no harmonica. Arthur's best playing on the Love record is his harp on the Love album track. It's very disconcerting to hear the track with just the acoustic guitar and the voice. Conca also rates out a shout out on You I'll Be Following, but Signed DC is his theme song. Arthur writing about things clearly as he saw them, and it can't have been easy for Arthur to deal with his friend, even in later life, because Conca's drug use cost a man a career. The only recordings that exist of Conca now are things like Dead From You that feature the Love Band backing up Vince Flaherty in 1965 with no Arthur to speak of. To his credit, Arthur was okay with Vince having Brian, Johnny, Kenny, and Conca backing him up on his own songs. Perhaps there's the odd recording of Conca with Love that from pre-Elektra with the Grassroots that might turn up someday, and that captures Conca in all his glory doing the songs from the first Love LP. But on record, Conca never ended up playing the songs from the first Love album with Love. By the way, Conca was not a fan of the song, and he saw it as an invasion of his privacy, actually. Fair play to Donald Conca. As it is, Signed DC is his epitaph. DC died in 2003 after a sad drug relapse. Signed DC was unearthed by the White Stripes for a 2001 single, and it was covered very, very well indeed by Jack White.